Hi everyone, my name is Susie Q and I am the owner and maker of Glitter with Susie Q. If you like the content that you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and share. You can also connect with me by Facebook, Instagram, and email. Hey everyone, today we're going to be making this koozie that has a mermaid print on it. And we have also made a decal that says, "I'm done adulting, let's be mermaids." So stay tuned to see how you can make this koozie just like I have. So the first step in making this koozie, what I'm going to do is I am going to apply my glitter called Texas Oil by Glitter Chimp. They are no longer in business, so I'm not going to leave the link in the description below. But just pick any black that you have that does give a nice shine to it when it's under epoxy. This particular glitter has an undertone of green, so it really fits in with the mermaid theme that I'm going for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the glitter, and I normally like to apply my glitter with the epoxy method, but because there are so many layers to this cup and because it is a very much a time-consuming cup, the first layer of glitter that I do it with glitter glue. The reason why I do it with glitter glue is because I want this layer to dry as quickly as I can with getting the best coverage that I can. Because right after we do this layer, we are going to, once it dries, we're going to put it on the tumbler and we're going to put a coat of epoxy on it. So I didn't want it to be a full day before I could handle this cup again, or 8-12 hours. I wanted to be able to handle it relatively quickly within the next 2 hours. So I put glitter glue all over my cup, and I then will sprinkle the glitter on to my tumbler. As you can see right now, I'm just kind of dragging my paintbrush along. Instead of it being kind of gloopy and gloppy, I am trying to kind of smooth it out so that you can't see those glops underneath the epoxy. Because there's another layer of glitter and a couple of layers of epoxy, you probably wouldn't see if your base coat of glitter was kind of glooped on there. But for me, just good practice is to make it as smooth as possible. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just smoothing out my glue. And then once the glue is all smoothed out, I'm going to put Texas Oil all over my cup. It is going to go on the bottom, all over the sides. That is my base layer for right now. right, so once I got that black glitter on there, it was time to put my tumbler on my turner and give it a good coat of epoxy. You want to put enough epoxy on there that your glitter will not poke through this layer of epoxy, because we have a couple more layers of epoxy to put on here. All right, you guys, now's the time for the tedious part of this cup. So what I'm doing is I am going to draw a straight line down the side of this cup. I'm just using a Posca paint, no, I'm sorry, it's an Arteza paint pen. And I'm using this because I know that it will stay on there while I am trying to lay my vinyl down, but I will easily be able to get it off with a little bit of alcohol, and I'll show you how I do that here in just a few minutes. But I'm just going to draw a straight line down my tumbler so that I can adhere this vinyl in a straight line. Now, on this cup, I have two regrets, and both of them deal with this vinyl. The first regret that I have is that I wasn't thinking when I cut this particular design out, is that there is a little strip, and you can see it right there on the very, very, very left side. There's a little strip of solid vinyl and a strip on the right side as well. Now, what I don't like about that, and what I didn't think about it when I cut it out, was that those two lines were going to create a bigger line wherever I laid it down. I ended up not liking that, and I had to cover it up with a decal. My plan was not to cover this up with a decal because it's so much work that you really want to showcase what you did with the mermaid scales. So I kind of had to figure out a way to camouflage that huge chunk that was missing out of me doing the glitter. So the other big regret that I have with this cup is that you'll see here in just a minute, the decal went above and below my koozie. I didn't realize, and I should have realized this, but I just didn't, that I needed to cut off the extra vinyl on the bottom. I did not wipe it off, or I did not cut it off, and so when I adhered my glitter, there's a patch on the bottom that didn't get glittered because I couldn't get glitter in there with that layer of vinyl, and then I didn't realize it until the vinyl was already peeled, and so I just kind of left it how it was. But if I were to do this again, I would make sure that that chunk, and you'll see it, it's at the bottom, it's purple, it's at the bottom rim. It is very unfortunate that that piece didn't get glittered with purple. It does kind of make it look a little bit more natural because maybe a mermaid scales aren't perfect, but I don't know. I just kind of wish that it had come out really nice. And so those are my two regrets with this, and it was all about the vinyl that I used or the template that I used with the vinyl. So here I am, and I'm just going as slow as I possibly can to adhere this vinyl onto the cup. So I'm just going slow, using my right hand to smooth out the vinyl onto the cup, and I am using my left hand to rotate the cup towards me very slowly. You want to make sure that you are doing this incredibly slowly, because the slower you go, the less chances you get bubbles underneath your epoxy, and the better it sticks to your cup to be that great template. Now, before you get to the very back of your tumbler, you want to make sure that you go through and you remove the transfer tape that is on your cup that helped you use that hinge method. So you want to make sure that you peel that back far enough that it's not going to kind of get entangled with the piece of vinyl work that you're working on the other side that's going to come over to it. So peel it away and then lay down the rest of your vinyl. All right, so here I am finishing up wrapping the vinyl around the tumbler. You're going to see that I am going to now remove my transfer tape. I am removing my transfer tape very carefully and very slowly. I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that I don't want to rip my template. If you rip your template, you probably have to pull it off and start all over again so that you can get those really good clean lines of the mermaid scales. The other reason why I'm pulling so slowly is that I don't want to create bubbles underneath the vinyl. Since we're using it for a template, it's okay, but it just runs the risk of getting epoxy underneath the vinyl and then you getting glitter under there so that you are so that your mermaid scale lines aren't as crisp and as clean as they could be. So at this point, I'm thinking about two things. The first thing that I'm thinking about is, dang it, there's going to be a solid black strip right here where the vinyl meets up. And the other is, oh no, I painted a line underneath there and that needs to be removed. Turns out I couldn't get it off by peeling back the vinyl without ripping the vinyl. So I just said, you know what, forget it. I will stop and I am going to adhere the vinyl back down and I am going to then after I take this the template off, I will then clean that line. So don't worry about getting it off right now. Keep your vinyl stuck to the cup, and after this process is over, once the epoxy dries, then you can take the marker off of your tumbler without any problem. Alrighty, so now it's time for us to adhere our glitter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Wanda from the Glitter Chimp. I'm going to use the blue from Walmart, and this pink is from a local shop around where I live. So what I'm going to do is I am going to mix up some epoxy, and I am going to put a small amount of epoxy onto the tumbler. I am going to make sure that I coat everywhere that I want glitter to be. So I'm going to coat all over the circumference of the koozie, and I'm also going to put epoxy on the very bottom of the koozie. So I'm just putting on enough to get a good coverage of the epoxy. Alright, so here I'm going to put my glitter onto my koozie. So I'm just spreading out some paper, and I am going to do I believe it's the pink color first. Yes, I start off with the pink, and I am really high above my tumbler, and I am just shaking out this pink glitter onto my tumbler. I'm trying to keep it within about a third of the cup. Because there are going to be 3 colors, I want to try to divide it as evenly as possible. So I put down the pink glitter, then I move all of the pink glitter, or I tap off the koozie, and I then move that pink to the side so that I can bring in a new sheet of paper so that I can do the purple on the bottom. So I'm just taking that purple and I'm doing the same thing. I am putting the purple everywhere I want to be, so all around the bottom, and then I'm going to go up about a third of the cup as well. And then I'm just sprinkling that glitter all over the koozie, trying to get a nice good layer and coverage of purple glitter. After I'm getting a good coverage, I go ahead and I tap it off, and then I move the purple over to the side of my workstation. Now I'm going to grab my blue glitter, and I am going to put it in the center section. I don't really mind if a little bit of blue gets on the pink and the purple, because I am going to try to do an ombre with these. I want them to kind of blend seamlessly, and so it doesn't matter if I get some blue on the pink or on the purple, because I'm going to go back with pink and purple and cover it up to make it have a really nice ombre. The best way that I can describe getting a great ombre is, and I'm stealing this from Mal by Mal Studios, Made by Mal Studios. She always says that you have a really great ombre when you don't know where one color stops and the other color starts. So you want to really just integrate the colors together and have them blend so that you don't really know where that transition or that line is. You don't want a harsh line in an ombre. You just want everything to kind of melt together. So then I'm bringing back my purple, and I'm kind of putting purple into the blue as well. Not all the way on top of the blue, but just where those 2 colors meet, again, so that I can get a really nice fade and a really nice blend into it. All right, and then I grab my blue again and I go over my blue color, again, blending it in with the pink on the top and the purple on the bottom. This is the hardest part of this entire tumbler. You have to now go through and take off the vinyl that is on your cup, or in this case on my koozie. Peeling up the vinyl is so annoying. It is, again, the worst part of this cup. I, in my experience, only am able to get a very small part of the vinyl up off of the tumbler before it rips off, it breaks, it just becomes a ginormous headache. So just do what you can, do what you need to in order to get this this vinyl decal off of your cup as cleanly as you can possibly do it. As you can see, I don't have a gloved hand. I know that I should, but if I put on a glove, the vinyl sticks to the glove, can't get the vinyl off, inevitably I touch something that's not supposed to be touched. It just is a big mess for me to wear a glove while I am peeling off the vinyl for a peekaboo. But it got to a point where the vinyl was really stuck on there. I couldn't get it off, so I had to grab my picker tool. So what I did was I wrapped my picker tool with a paper towel so that I could grab it using the paper towel and not getting glitter and epoxy all over my picker tool. So you'll see that I'm just kind of splitting up the vinyl and then peeling up what I can in one pull. This goes on for a few minutes because there is a lot of vinyl on this cup. You don't realize how much vinyl is on this cup until you are trying to get it off of this cup. So take your time, do what you do. Put on a podcast, put on a YouTube video, and just pick at it until all of it is gone. This step might not be so brutal if you don't use the epoxy method, but again, the epoxy method is my favorite, so I'm going to continue to do that. And I guess that I'll deal with the annoyances of using epoxy on a peekaboo, but that's okay. So I'm going to let you guys just watch me finish peeling up all of the decals, and then we'll meet up on the other side. So I'm done getting up all of my decals, and as I'm looking, I realize, uh-oh, there is a big chunk of purple glitter missing. So I am trying to dump glitter onto it, but it's not sticking because that is a part that I did not get with epoxy because that piece of vinyl was in my way. So I am just doing my best to cover it as I can, and that's all that I am able to do. So now the epoxy is dry. This was the next day. So I just took a Q-tip and I put rubbing alcohol on, or I'm sorry, 91% isopropyl alcohol on it. And as you can see, I used a Q-tip so I could get kind of like down in between those two rows of glitter. And I'm able to get it off with no trouble. A couple of spots I had to go over, you know, a little bit harder, but overall, no trouble at all getting off that Arteza paint pen. Hey you guys, I just want to kind of remind you, if you don't mind, will you please like, subscribe, and share to this channel? I would really love my content to get out to as many people as possible if they're interested, and subscribing to this channel really helps that. Liking videos really helps that, and sharing it with others also really helps it. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for watching these, and continue doing that, and subscribe if you haven't. right after I got that paint pen marker off of my Koozie, I went ahead and I put it on my turner and put a layer of epoxy on this raw glitter. Alright, so like I said, I have two regrets about this tumbler. One is this big old black line right down the center of it. So what I did was I went into my Cricut design space and I found a mermaid tail. I made an offset of it and in a very, very, very thin outline. That created this pink back piece. I'm going to adhere this pink back piece to my Koozie. Back into design space, I also found a saying, I'm done adulting, let's be mermaids. So what I did was I kind of turned the wording so that it fit inside the mermaid tail. I selected all of it and I sliced it. That took out all of those words from the mermaid tail that is teal on the screen right now on the left. The next step I did was I went ahead and I cut both of them out, and now I'm applying it to the tumbler. Or not tumbler, to the Koozie. So I'm just finding the exact right spot that I want, and I am placing down that pink offset. I'm going to build this Koozie, or the layers of vinyl on top of the Koozie. So once I get the pink down, I'm going to pull up my transfer tape, and then I'm going to put my other mermaid tail on top of it, or get it to stick to the transfer tape. Once I have it stuck to the transfer tape, I am then going to put it on top of the pink mermaid tail that is already on the cup. Here I am adhering the teal vinyl to the pink vinyl on my Koozie. After I got this once I got the decal onto my Koozie, I went ahead and I put it on my tumbler, I put a thin layer of epoxy on there and let that cure overnight. Once that was done curing overnight, I then put a second layer of epoxy on my tumbler, and that turned out to be the final layer of epoxy on my tumbler. Here is the final product of this absolutely super cute mermaid tail koozie. You know, summer's a great time. I love swimming, and this koozie is going to come to me with a lake at the pool. It just turned out really, really cute. If you think so too, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can connect with me on social media with Facebook and Instagram, and you can also send me an email. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. But now it's time for you to watch the video that's suggested for you on the screen. Have a great day. Bye.